You know what time it is, Boss Up enjoyers. It's time to add a new boss to the game. After my previous vlog with Waffle Time blew up, I knew I had to get right to work on the next edition, so I started putting together some concepts. I was struggling a bit to come up with new fight ideas, so I decided to take a look back through my original pitch document for May, back when the game was called Joustborn, and our lovely protagonist Roger didn't even have a name. Among some truly awe-inspiring ideas for bosses, like Kill William, Chuck T Gaming, and Tumblr Sexy Man, one idea on the list has truly stuck out to me since day one, Mr. Bones Gaming, as he was called at the time. The idea was to make this boss a satire of modern internet culture, specifically stuff like overstimulation editing and short-form brain rot. To that guy who said my content is boring and needs more memes, this one's for you. Be sure to like and subscribe, and welcome to the Bonesy Devlog. I started the boss making process by opening up a Sprite and blocking out the shape of the skull. Around this time, I decided that the boss would take up a square frame, like a webcam in a Let's Play, so I drew a little box and started making the skull shape inside. I tried to find a balance of cartoony and realistic proportions to make this guy interesting to look at. I started playing around and giving him pupils to add a little extra flair to the design, and I settled on these giant blue bulging eyeballs because they looked really funny to me. To add some real 2010s gamer vibes, I gave him a big pair of headphones and a singular swoop of gamer blue hair. I chose some off-whites for the base color, and then got to shading with some browns and tans. And here we have the final sprite. Let's get him set up in game alongside the background. You may have noticed a little something going on at the bottom of the screen in the previous clip. That's where the fight's main gimmick comes in, the playback bar. Bonesy's fight takes place within the video itself, giving the player some powerful time abilities to even the playing field against the boss. This scrub bar indicates where you are in the fight, and both the attacks and dialogue are synced up to start playing at the exact same point in the video every time. I did this by creating two separate arrays for dialogue and attacks, and the frame of the video they would begin on. In a for loop, I compared the arrays to the current timestamp, and if the time is equal to the value in an array, I set off the trigger for the event. Both the pause button and the fast forward button can be activated at any time after a lengthy cooldown, and you can tell they're ready to use when they glow white. You can strike these buttons with your weapon to activate their abilities. The pause button freezes not only the playback of the fight, but all attacks on screen as well. I created this effect by freezing all animation playback and movement for every object aside from the player and their weapons. This pause gives you a chance to get some damage in and take a break from the heavy onslaught of attacks. The skip button allows you to scrub through the video, canceling the current attack and taking you straight to the next one. If you're feeling overwhelmed or you can't deal with a particular attack, build up your skip and use it wisely. I created this effect by destroying all projectiles and their spawners, and setting the animation frame of Bonesy ahead so it would look like he moved forward in time. This attack also pushes the bar forward, moving you to the next set of attacks instantly, or wrapping back to the start of the video if you use it after the last timestamp. After I got the fight's main gimmicks up and running, I started working on some attack concepts in my notes app. Initially, I had a difficult time trying to merge the idea of YouTube brain rot and a bullet hell boss fight. Some early attack ideas included summoning characters from a Funny Moments compilation, launching subtitles at the player, and chasing the player with the hot knife, which I decided was too niche of an internet trend. My goal with this fight was to make it general enough to be recognizable and timeless for any player, while also providing just a bit of internet culture to connect to the theme of the fight. Eventually, I decided on this list of attacks. Let's break them down a bit. The fight starts off with a relatively basic bullet hell pattern to ease the player in. Bonesy fires out skulls in an arc, changing up the angle a little bit for each wave to force the player to move around and weave between the gaps. This isn't an easy attack to dodge, and players may find themselves wanting to try out the buttons in a panic. If they haven't already though, the next attack is sure to scare them into skipping or pausing to really learn how this mechanic works. This attack is another bullet hell. This time, Bonesy asks his viewers to get 1,000 likes. As they start to roll in, likes will fire in a rapid circle towards the center of the screen. While it appears to be random and unpredictable, dodging this attack is a matter of finding a gap and following it as the window of safety rotates around you. If the player pauses here, they'll be treated to a JoJo-esque time stop, with projectiles all around their head. Hopefully they'll be prepared for the next one. The retention attack is Bonesy's desperate attempt to win back the fickle attention span of his viewers. Maximizing visual intrigue with flowing rainbow sand is sure to draw the eyes of any doomscroller at 3 AM. To dodge this attack, you have to make full use of your flight and glide, with the window being fairly tight until the ground is safe to land on again, and the streams of sand providing something to dodge on the horizontal axis in the meantime. Now that the viewers are paying attention once again, Bonesy starts working in the thumbnail in real time. For this attack, Bonesy tries to capture the player with a bright red circle for their video's thumbnail. If you can avoid the flash, you won't take any damage. After 2 snaps, he'll also start firing red arrow projectiles from the bottom of the screen to trip you up as you dodge the main source of danger. With that, Bonesy starts to wrap up the content. But what's the point of a video without a nice engagement-boosting end screen to shove more content into the viewer's face? This attack covers the screen in random thumbnails, which can be quite the hassle to dodge. Perhaps another great opportunity to skip or pause before the video is over. Once this attack ends, the video wraps up. But watch out, if you haven't taken out Bonesy yet, the playback will start over from the first timestamp. That's about it for the devlog. Thanks so much for watching and supporting my work. I'm so unbelievably happy about hitting my 600 subscriber milestone, and I can't wait to make more sick bosses for you guys. If you liked the video, I'd love it if you could leave a like and subscribe, because every like fires another heart at Roger, and I'm trying to get that guy. Thanks a bunch for watching, and stay tuned for more.